technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
Hello out there, and I am Jimmy Eastman. Welcome to this edition of Focus on Liberia. We're graced with a special personality today, representative for aspiring representative for District 10, Karishma Pelham-Raad is in the house, and she will be giving us her details about why she's running and what is she trying to do for the people of her district. So, without any further delays, we are going to have Miss Pelham join us in a very few minutes. As you know, the Liberia elections are on October 10. We're going to have presidential elections, senatorial, and a lot of representatives. So it's an exciting time in Liberia. Welcome, Miss Pelham-Raad. How are you?
I'm fine, Mr. Eastman. How are you?
Very, very good. We're glad that you could grace our platform. We've been very interested to hear, what you're going to offer the Liberian people. We've heard a lot about you. Very progressive young lady, very businesswoman type. We all so many things we've heard. So let's just start. Let's just kick the can down the road and start off with a basic question. Who is Karishma Pelham-Raad?
So, Karishma is a young woman. I don't know why I'm hearing myself back. Am I clear? Can you really hear me properly?
I do hear you. I hear you clearly. I don't hear any echo. Do you hear echo?
Hello? Okay, I think it's gone. I think it was from your side.
Okay.
All right. So, I'm Karishma, a network engineer. I worked with MTN Liberia for 8 years professionally as a network engineer. I worked with Comium Liberia for 4 years in the commercial department doing customer service, sales, and marketing. And I'm a graduate of the AMEU University. I studied management and accounting, so I major in management, business management, and I minor in accounting. I'm currently doing my master's at the AMEU Graduate School, where I'm studying international relations, emphasis on foreign service. And I'm also doing a program at the European Academy of Diplomacy in Poland, where I'm studying international diplomacy. So I run one of the biggest foundations in Liberia. It's called the HRH Karishma Foundation. And we have crossed both borders. Our work has spoken for us all the way in Nigeria, Tanzania, Gambia, Sierra Leone. In Liberia, we work with the visually impaired sector, the disabled. We work with most of the orphanage homes in different counties and also Maserado. And we are able to reach out to our people. We are investing in our kids through education. For the past 5 years, we have been having kids on our scholarships, educational wise. This year, we were able to get at least 200 students in the public schools area on our scholarship for this year. And from the private schools, we were able to get at least 50 students on our scholarship. And we intend to continue that as the academic year starts next month. We are waiting to see if they are going to open. And we empower our women in our district through grant, business grant, in a little way, women who are already into business. So Karishma is a candidate of district number 10, Maserado County, where we have a full representation of a lawmaker, and we have come to unseat him. And we are asking our people to vote a competent female to represent district number 10 this time around at the level of the parliament. And we believe that we can fully represent our people at the level of the parliament with our level of experience coming from the private sector. We are competent enough to be able to discuss the issues and come with solutions. So this is Karishma. If you are watching, it is nice to meet you. And thank you, Mr. Eastman, for having me. It's an honor to be on your platform and to also help me in sharing my platform and the agenda for my district.
Excellent. We just want to tell you it's our pleasure to have you on the show. We've been anticipating such an appearance, and it's fabulous to have you there now. So we understand you are aspiring for representative of the District 10. What is your relationship to the district?
Well, I have a very good relationship. I relate to people in a very easy way. I have a very good human relations with people. I know how to build relationship. I also understand when it comes to the issue with the people in my district. So it's easier for me to communicate because we have done our assessment back to back, and we know how the district works and what are some of the things our mothers and sisters lacking in the district. So it's easier for us to communicate because we know the issue, and we know also how to build our relationship with our people and how to make them feel connected with us, being accessible to them, going to them, taking the message to them, and sharing our platform with them as well. So I have a very perfect relationship with my people in the district. We are not promising anybody what we can do. We are honest in the process with our people, but in that we also help the little way we can, and we are also promising them very good leadership. We're going to work with our people in the district. We got to make sure that our district is fully represented at the level of the parliament. That we're going to oversight the needed things that involve the district and the district needs. For example, our district lack of public health care. Our district lack a skills building institution or public skills building institution to enhance the young people, and the district also lack high schools, public high schools, where we need to make sure that all the public high schools in our district are pushed to high school level because we have a lot of dropouts because the two major public schools we have, one is elementary and one is junior high. So we just have one public high school in the district where you have over 85,000 people and with no public health care. So these are things that we know. There are issues when it comes to empowerment. People need funds. People want to be able to do stuff, but when it comes to skills, we lack skills. So with a skill building institution, we can be able to have a lot of our people empowered through skills building. They can be able to learn a trade where they can become their own bosses, become an entrepreneur in the process, and some of our youth will be able to study what they love. You can become an electrician, you can become a professional IT software engineer or hardware engineer. You can learn about technology to a different level. You can become a caterer. You can also become a tailor. So these are opportunities we want our people to have in a way because education helps the nation develop. So more of those institutions in different districts, which of course is a priority for district number 10, we would be able to empower most of our people. So we connect with our people because we understand our people.
Excellent. So, is this your first time in politics, or do you have a political alignment with any particular party?
So this is my first time running. This is my first time
Mm,
running for a public position. I've been in the private sector, like I may mention. I have 12 years professional experience from the private sector. Coming to politics, when I came in, I supported the CDC. I'm a member of the Coalition of Democratic Change. I have not resigned from my party, but based on major issues, I chose not to support the party for a second term. And I'm currently supporting Honorables Boakas and Jeremiah Kuhn's ticket for the presidency, which is the UP ticket.
okay, that is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, you've mentioned a few things to us tonight, a few things that you want to correct, right?
Yes.
And there's few things that you don't believe is right. So what are the things you think that are wrong? Because right now you said the representative is not doing a good job, the current representative. What are the things that are wrong in the district that you have been able to identify right now?
Isman, before I answer your question, I want to share the live on the platform. Can you share the link with me in my inbox so I can see
Yes.
it? Because I'm on, I don't know if I'm on the wrong page. I'm on Focus on Liberia page.
Okay.
I'm not seeing any live here. I don't know if it has not been shared yet. So,
I just shared it live with you.
okay, so let me just, I think you need to share it also on your Focus
Oh, you
Liberia.
know something?
No,
I think you're right. I just see we went off. It looks like we went off. Let me see if I can get Anthony in the background. I don't see anything on the live myself. You,
exactly.
let me see if I can get Anthony. Hold on 1 minute. Let me see
Okay.
if we can correct this quickly. Ba-dum-bum. I agree. This thing I noticed it yesterday too.
It's not
Okay.
working.
Yeah, there's nothing on. I don't know. We're on camera, but now we're not. So I'm trying to see what's wrong. I was signing myself and see if I can figure out what's going on here. Mhm.
Jimmy, you okay?
No, we're not.
We're not. Look on it live. There's nothing being shown right now. We're not on camera.
Jimmy, you are on camera. Continue with the interview. You are on camera. Everything is clear. Go ahead.
Okay, where do we get it live from? I want to post it on my page. Where are you?
You are in the middle of an interview. You shouldn't be asking that. Continue with the interview. You can do
No,
that later.
I have followers that want to listen to my
They
interview.
can
So
watch it later. You're in the middle of an interview. You can't be doing that. In the middle of an interview,
no,
Jesus.
you have to calm
But
down. In a minute,
But
I'm not gonna
yeah,
watch it.
in,
I'm like,
in her
you
defense, in her
know,
defense, in her
yeah, so
defense, I'm looking for it to myself. If
yeah,
we want to make sure we're on, that's all. Once we get that corrected, let me do something real quick here, Karishma.
okay.
Here it is. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, we are on. I will send it to you again.
Okay, please do.
All right.
Okay.
I think that was on my phone. Okay.
Um,
We'll resume and if we were ready to resume, let me know.
yeah, you can go ahead. I'm sharing the link. I just want to make sure that we allow
Okay.
people access to it.
Okay, folks. Sorry, let me recap. We are on with Honorable Karishma Pelham-Raad, candidate and aspirant for District 10 representative. She's been from the private sector. She's come a long way. She's a professional athlete and also a a fundraiser and has one of the largest fund organizations in Liberia. And now she wants to take on politics for the first time so she can better her people in District 10. Okay, are we ready, Miss Helen?
Yes, I've been ready. I just needed to share um, their interview with my followers so that people have access to sharing their ideas as well, asking questions.
Definitely, definitely. So the next question I said, what do you see is wrong with the district? You mentioned that the current representative was not doing a good job. What do you see that is wrong that you want to correct? You know,
So we have a lawmaker. I think everyone know that district number 10 is under the administration of Yeke Koluba, who happens to be one of the lawmakers who are not representing his people appropriately. Sometimes what he's actually pushing comes out in a very good way where the issues are actually very important, but then the manner of approach is very wrong. So because of that, he's not getting any kind of result, positive result. And we have not seen him actually raising issues that have to do with District 10 in the interest of the people of District 10. So it always have to be some kind of national politics that he's playing some kind of propaganda with, or he's sharing his idea in a very arrogant manner, in that sense where his message doesn't really go to the people, or the message, the proper message that is supposed to go to the people don't go. It comes out in a different way where a lot of insults are raised or people are attacked through his platform or on those interviews and stuff like that. So we as a district have been poorly represented because I also live in the district. I've been living in the district for about 10 years. So this is not what the young people need. This is not what our mothers need. This is not what the district needs. So what the district actually lacks is a leader, someone who can relate to the people, connect with the people, and represent the people in the most appropriate way at the level of the parliament. And that is where we are coming in, that we are competent enough to represent our people, and that we are asking our people to give us a chance. This will be the first time District 10 will have a female lawmaker. And we don't just want people to support female because the person come and say, "Oh, I'm a female, so I just want you to support female." So it can be no. We are asking them to support a competent female with our level of experience coming from the private sector and being a humanitarian. Also, we understand how to connect with our people, how to network, how to speak in the interest of our people, lay the basics and be able to push the ideas. So we intend to work with our colleagues at the level of the parliament, build relationships, because it's not possible for one like to shine at the level of the parliament. And we also want people to understand that the majority of the parliament are the ones that make the rules, that make the laws. So definitely we're not going to be fighting our police at the level of the parliament, which is what we normally see our current lawmaker doing. We are going to build relationships so that when we are advocating for what is important for our district, for example, the health care that we are talking about, that we will also have our colleagues supporting that because other districts can also benefit from a project like that because they might be having similar situation or issues we are having when it comes to healthcare. So yeah, that is the reason why we are coming into the race, or we have come, and that is the reason why we have become a candidate. We are no longer an aspirant. We have been certificated by NEC as an official candidate. I'm an independent candidate. I'm running as an independent candidate, and we are number 12 on the ballot of district number 10.
Mm-hmm.
Sub candidates, we are number 12 on the ballot. So when you are looking, the name is Karishma, and we are number 12 on
Mm-hmm.
the ballot. Yeah.
Gotcha. Excellent. So we understand why you're coming in now, but what qualifies you for the office? What qualities that you bring to the table that other candidates don't have?
So we are coming with 12 years professional working experience. We are also
Mhm.
coming to serve uh, in the line of leadership uh, with a level of humanity because it's not possible for you to be a leader and you don't have that level of humanity within you. You have to be able to relate to your people. We are able to relate to our people. That's why even right now we are doing our house to door campaign where we are taking the message to our people. We are not waiting for them to come to us. So we believe that with our experience coming from the private sector as an engineer, working with our people in different counties, understanding the needs and wants of our people, and also based on our exposure both international and nationally, uh, linking with different leaders from different countries, tapping into their knowledge, understanding how they got there, what they did. We believe that we are the, the very perfect candidate for district number 10 to be able to represent our people. We believe that the reason why most of the time we elect bad leaders is because people are not here accountable. Most of the time, people elect people on based on the level of sympathy. They don't ask them what is your platform, what's the policy you intend to push, what are your plans for the district. So like I told someone, I said no one can hold Yeke responsible right now for anything because he did not promise anything when he was running his campaign. He just told people to vote for him on the line of sympathy. So he was voted in on the line of sympathy. So he abused that in that sense that he feels like the people voted him are asking him questions. So perhaps maybe the people don't know their rights because if you actually know your rights and understands these things, you will know that when you are supporting someone to represent you, that person should be held accountable. They should have a plan for your district. That's the plan you look at, that's the platform you look at to say, I'm pushing this person because this is the platform. But when you elect someone without a platform, without any plan, no manifesto, and you come back and say the person has misrepresented you, I think we misrepresented ourselves by voting someone in without asking the person, what is your platform? What will you do for the district, the young people, the women? How do you intend to do it better for us? So so far, that's it.
That's interesting. You've been doing a lot of work, social work on your own in your private organization, your nonprofit, and have been already making an impact. Why do you see the House of Representatives as a place to solve these problems?
So this is where the laws are made. This is where you can make changes. This is where you can do amendment. So most of the issues affecting our people are issues that have to be corrected from the level of the parliament. So like for my district, when you talk about public health care, It's something that has to be negotiated from the level of the parliament where we have a healthcare budget. We also have donors that come in that are supporting health projects. Like we all know, you based in America, you also understand that the United States is one of our biggest donors when it comes to healthcare and education. So with the legislative power, you are able to push when it comes to healthcare, and you are also able to push when it comes to education. So doing my engagement with the public schools, there were like one of the schools were trying to engage to push them from sixth grade to ninth grade, and before you can push them from ninth grade to 12th grade, there are spaces where you can use for other classes, but that has to be pushed from the education, the ministry, which has to do with the legislative level, to come out and say that all public school is going to be pushed because they have to put fundings in the budget to be able to take care of the instructors, the other classes, instructor. Some of the public schools, there will be infrastructure that needs to be built to add up to be able to complete from either sixth grade to 12th grade or from ninth grade to 12th grade. So we realize that even if we come in, we provide some chairs, we provide a book supply, which is school materials. We sometimes the classrooms leaking, and we provide ceiling, zinc as well. And sometimes they need pin to pin the school, we provide pin and all of that. That cannot really change the system. It can only make it better for a limited time, and it goes back to where it was. But if we are amending the education law at the level of the parliament based on the legislative power that we have acquired when we are voted in, we can be able to use that to change those things. And it's not just for district number 10, but at least every public schools in Liberia must be pushed up to a high school level so that the kids can have the means to finish their education when it comes to high school wise.
I see. So, what do you consider are the responsibilities of a representative?
So you should be able to represent your people appropriately at the level of the parliament, meaning issues surrounding your district. You can be able to place your ideas on the floor um, to your colleagues in a more appropriate manner, and you also be able to get involved when it comes to making decision or your voice heard when it comes to national issues that affect the majority positively or that affects it negatively, and we are finding a solution. And also oversighting what the district needs, like the part of where I'm talking about, pushing the high schools from pushing the public schools in our district to high school level. So that's proper oversighting. The budget is there, the money comes in, but who represents you to know what the district actually needs to oversight that to make sure say, okay, so we have this project for medical. So for the healthcare, this year the government intends to build 10 public hospitals. Then we come to the point in lobby to make sure that 10 of the public hospitals that's going to be built, one of them will be built in district number 10, so that the people of district number 10 have proper healthcare. So we oversight what the people need, what is a necessity for the district to come to the district. And then we have the issue of lawmaking. So for the issue of where we have the rape cases, how do you make law that perpetrators can serve their time, and what's the system to support that? So, for example, we are experiencing a significant drugs situation, high level of drugs being pushed on our young people. And district number 10 is one of those districts that the youth are pushing in that direction. So we have a lot of them that we need to be able to send to a rehabilitation center where we can be able to clean them up. Then after that, what next? We don't have anything in the district. There's no system. So if you want to be able to do that, you need a skills building institution to support you in that. So a public skills building institution, when you clean them up, we want to give our youth another opportunity to start fresh. So you push them to skills building where they will do what they love. You're not going to push what you want them to learn. or what they love. Maybe someone just want to do carpentry. Maybe that's what you like. Maybe someone just want to do electrician work. They want to learn about electricity. Maybe someone wants to do catering. They have different form of catering. Maybe I just want to learn how to do wedding cakes, or I just want to learn how to do birthday cakes, or maybe I just want to do pastry where I can make my shortbread, my donut, my pepper color in the morning. People come and buy in the evening, and I make my money. I'm my own entrepreneur, and with that, I can be able to put food on the table in my house, send my kids to school. So these are things we are pushing. These are our ideas, and that is how we intend to go about it.
Wonderful. There's this controversial development fund. I think it's in an amount of $30,000 that the members of the legislature receive. What is your what is your opinion about that?
So I don't think that's a mistake for the legislature, right? So if that money is given to every lawmaker, it's hard for you to say that you're going to support that to go out when everyone is benefiting, right? So it's something that has been passed into law. But the question there is, when the lawmakers sign for that money, what are you doing for your people in your district? So let me give you an example, like I budgeted how to use that money. So my three public schools don't have a technology department. So if I receive my first 30,000 as a lawmaker, I intend to make sure to start even with the first public school to see how we can have a technology department. Where even if it's 50 computers, proper seating capacity where the kids can come in to learn. We get a internet system connected to that facility. We have someone who is involved in IT to come and set up a system where when you come to the computer, you've been to Liberia before. How it used to be like when you go to the internet cafe, right? So when you go, they give you 30 minutes when you pay for 30 minutes, and then they give you that chip like paper with the code. You go to the computer, then they ask you for the password. You put it in, so that password, if it's for 30 minutes, it's 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes to do your assignment or to do your research. And then after that, another student have access to that. And then you can also have the computer class. They can schedule the students, and the school will be able to know what day for which class. So this is something we intend to use our own funds for. But then again, what are the other lawmakers using the fund for? So the people in a district should be able to question them. They should be held accountable for how the money is spent. That is my issue on that. But for me, I already have a cost to how to get that money used. Even let's say for example, that 30,000, if I'm taking 10,000 from that money to invest in the market with me. So if I'm changing that 10,000 into Liberian dollars, that's probably almost 2 million Liberian dollars or even more maybe. So in that form, I can be able to support at least 2 to 300 market women to help them push their business. So station number 10, we don't have too many markets. So it's the oral markets, we have two buildings. And then we have just some small markets in different communities, just small areas, not big markets. So how you intend to use the money to develop the people, how you intend to empower them through that. That should be the question to your leader, whoever that is representing your district. What was the money used for?
I like that because accountability. I mean, do you think they should even have report receipts or all the money spent? You think it should be? I mean, it's government funds. There's never a time that government spends money that it's not accounted. There's no record. Do you shouldn't think we should have each representative should present receipts of how they spent the money?
So firstly, there can be a situation like that based on what the government is actually giving the money for. So if the money is being given to lawmaker for the personal use, or just say engagement fund, because that's what I heard one time from one of the lawmakers, that is an engagement fund where you can use to engage your communities to stay in constant engagement with them. So let's say, for example, if I'm a lawmaker and that 30,000
Mm,
comes and I decide to build maybe two palava hut in two different communities who where the young people lack palava huts where they do the normal community meetings. So I should be, when I'm speaking about how my money was used, I should be able to mention all of that. And the district people will be there to back it up because you cannot lie to Liberian people on a public radio when you use money for certain things. They will come and say, no, that's not true. We did not receive that. So if I'm saying, for example, that we built a computer lab system at the Gayton School, there should be proof. We should be honest in our discussion. So based on that, based on what the if the government is giving it for development purposes, yes, I believe the receipt's supposed to be for to come up for it. But it just in case if it is not for development purposes, it's just for lawmaker engagement funds. The district should be the one, the people in the district should be the one to question the lawmaker what that money was used for. If you did not use that
mm,
money for engagement, let's say for example, when you received the 30,000, you did community engagement for a month where you visited all your communities back. You were able to interact with all the women, give them something to start little businesses. Do you understand me? And the district will discuss that engagement. So like that, the proof is there, your handwork is there. But if you're not doing it, you just receive the money, sit down, you go on air, and you just insults, make arguments, and all of that. The district is not being developed, and the people are not getting any results, and you are not doing anything.
yeah, that's clearly understood. So let's say you win. You know, a lot of people don't realize that the staff of the members of legislature are very key. They do the research, they do the groundwork, check around investigations, and they give the representative or the senator feedback. And from that feedback, the senator will make decisions on or know how to proceed. It informs the senator on his decisions or his or her decisions. So, what would your staff look like? The staff of Honorable Karishma Pelham-Raad. What would that staff look like? What kind of people will you hire to help you do this job for the library people?
So, Mr. Jimmy, Eastman, we people that work with me know that I'm a human person. I personally connect with my people. So I'm not going to change my style of leadership. I'm still going to be coming back to my people in the different communities to have my regular town hall meetings with them, walk in the community, find out what's the issue, how we can fix it together. We're not going to do it alone. So I'm not going to be a leader who's going to change because I'm into power. I can go back to my people. I'm expecting someone to come and give me some kind of beautiful story to tell me how my people are happy, they love me when I know the reality. As a leader, trust me, when you are doing good with your people, you know. When you are messing up, you know. You might not admit it publicly, but with yourself, you know. Because you know everything you do good, everything you do bad, everything you do right or not. So this is something that most of the people that work with me, I try to make sure that people who are people person, people who I see a level of humanity within you. And my team and I will let you know this. My team and I, we have our own strategy. So when we go out, now some people ask me why your team members are not wearing a t-shirt. So when we go out, I like my team to be in the crowd so that they can give me feedback after we have done everything. So once you are in a crowd, you are not wearing my t-shirt, my cap, or anything about me. People don't actually recognize you to be a team member of me. So people are comfortable to say things from the back or whatever. You will hear. And sometimes my team member go into the community, you won't know that's my team member. They will just do their own personal assessment and come back. So I create an avenue where they can be honest with me in conversations. I posted a few days ago on my social media that my critics are my biggest motivators. And I was very honest with that post. The reason being is people who criticize you most of the time don't even have the stuff together. Not even 5 minutes, but they will throw stone. If you ask them, have you helped one person the past week? They cannot show their hand up. But they are the ones that question people's integrity and they are not making no impact in society. So we use our social media platform to make impact. We also use our presence in person to make impact. We use our means to connect with our people to make impact. So we connect with our people through all the traditional media, through radio, our social media platform. That's why we are happy that we are in a social media era where you can send your message through social media. I'm right here on social media with you, and you are all the way in the United States of America. That's beautiful. Our people back then never had this, so we are making use of what we have now. So in that direction, we also realize that we are doing what is right, and we intend to continue in that direction.
Excellent, excellent. So we're gonna go to some current issues, and we'd like to know where your stance is on some of these current issues. So
Okay.
we want to know how Representative Pelham will weigh in. On Monday, there was a member of the coalition of Democratic Change was reportedly stabbed by
Mhm.
by one Miss Bakasaye, cousin of Jeremiah Bankun, vice standard bearer of the Unity Party, in a town called Vayengle, Soul's chiefdom. Accordingly, it was over a simple political argument, and later he was pronounced dead. What is your opinion about what happened, and where do you stand on this election violence that we've seen beginning to creep in the scene?
So, so Mr. Eastman, I'm just hearing that, and we are strictly against electoral violence. We
Mhm.
also want people to be able to share their views in a more appropriate manner. I'm part of the independent candidates that recently signed the Farmington River Declaration, where we have been pushing for peaceful elections. I'm also a very peaceful person. I've been pushing that message in my district to make sure that our people stay calm. When you see violence, stay away. Because we want our people to have a safe space in the district and feel safe, not just the district, but our country at large. So violence is something completely out of my book, but I want to send a message to the both sides, right? That we all should condemn electoral violence. So, like what happened recently when the campaign was launched, August 5th, where CDC Youth League had a casket patrolling in the city of Monrovia with Honorable Waka's pictures pasted on them and saying that they were having his funeral. That would have led to massive chaos in our country, and that is like disgracing our nation in general because Honorable Waka served this country as a vice president, so he still representing the country. You cannot take that back from him. So you coming to that level after all political parties have signed the Farmington Declaration to support a peaceful election is like more like just signing and not living up to that. So from both parties, we will say that we should be strictly against electoral violence. We should all preach the peace message. We don't want to go back to war. I was just at a program yesterday where I met Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for the first time. I was overly excited because she's a role model of mine. And I've been trying to reach her. I want to tap into her blessings and all of that. and her knowledge, her kind of wisdom that got her to where she is today. And yesterday was my first day to meet her in person, where we had our one-on-one conversation. I was happy, but at that program, Liberian women were celebrating 20 years of peace and 20 years of Liberian women pushing the peace agenda, because it was 20 years ago when the peace accord was signed in Accra, Ghana. And we want to make sure that that peace is maintained in Liberia. We want to make sure that whatever we do, we all should understand that we are citizens. We have a democratic rights, whether to contest, to vote, to support whoever you want to support is their democratic right. You and someone could be sleeping in the same room, and one person is supporting CDC, one person is supporting UP. It's your choice. You are not there to attack your colleague. You are exercising your democratic right, and that person is also exercising your democratic right. So we should respect each other's rights. In politics, politics is choice. What you think is best for you, support it. Don't question the next person because that person might not think that is best for them. But when we are together, we should coexist. And when we are discussing politics, we should make sure that it's peaceful. If you see the tension coming, drop the conversation, change the topic, or drop the conversation, understand the person being emotional at the moment, and leave. You are not forced to continue the conversation. You protect your rights. You don't have, you know, it's not your right to explain to anybody. Your right is to choose your side and exercise that right at the ballot box on October 10th, 2023.
Excellent. Folks, we are on with Karishma Pelham-Raad, aspirant for District 10 in the upcoming elections. Today, what's being debated today, Ms. Pelham, in the legislature is Liberia's amended public health law, which includes a provision on abortion. Um, they want to pass this into law, but it's right now in debate. The law would ban abortions after 18 weeks of gestation. The current penal law allows up to 24 weeks of gestation, which is about 6 months. And although many believe that although this is a right step in the right direction, but more should be done. Some believe that abortion should not exceed 12 weeks. What is your stance on women's reproductive rights and abortion?
So I think everyone should be able to make a decision when they want to be a mother. And I also believe that the kids have a right to live. I don't support abortion going up to 6 months. That's like killing or infants directly. But I do support abortion law because it's better for you to have a law that people can do it legally than for you to not have a law that is still going to do it, and we're going to have a lot of our young people dying from abortion behind the scene without us knowing what are the major issues. But if it is legal, someone can say, oh, this is the doctor I'm going to, and that doctor will have a lessons or official lessons to do abortion. And that doctor will know that he cannot oversee based on the law, the abortion law, that he cannot do abortion if it past 2 months or 3 months. So I believe that with the law, we will protect more lives because we have had people that have even been affected through that, even though it's not legal, people are still doing it. So even with that, we have had situations where people went through abortion, they got damaged in the process, and they currently become a woman at a certain age where they can no longer bear a child. So I think if it is legal, we will not have those kind of situations because there will be, you will not have to hide to go to one clinic beyond to the listing of abortion doctors, professional doctors will be out publicly where if you have a situation, you know which clinic to go to, who's the doctor, and all of that. I believe that women should make the decision, or both parents should have the right to choose when they want to be a parent, because we have a lot of people giving birth and they are leaving the kids either in the hospital, or they don't even have the means to take care of the kids, to dash them. Like one case, we had someone give birth and put the baby in the dump pad. I don't know if you have seen that before in the dump site.
Yeah,
Yes,
I have.
so yes, it's better to not have situation like that, because when you give people the options to make that decision, they can make those decisions. But going to the level of 6 months, no, that is the part I don't support.
Very good, very clear. So, and I agree with you. There have been many women, young girls, who have been victims of mal and mis practices. So we definitely want to protect them. Um, let's go to the um, uh, the debate now about the balance of women in politics. If you they cite places where like Rwanda, where it's mandatory that a certain amount of women participate in the legislature, and that brings a balance to the decision making. Do you think we should adapt such a law to make it mandatory that a certain amount of women be given a chance to participate in our body decision making in our legislature and all politics?
I think we already have a quota for that is being pushed, but it has not been approved yet. It's still been a fight on, fight out. The 30% women participation in the political space, that quota has been passing through the legislature, and it has not been supported yet. So let's put it this way: at the House of Senate, we have only two females. At the House of Representatives, we have nine females. So if they are voting, the majority takes the rule. So if the men decides to vote out, we cannot get that passed. So what we need to do is to make sure that more women take up that leadership ability and contest. Good thing is Liberia support independent candidate. For example, places like Nigeria, they don't support independent candidate. You have to go on a party ticket. So that gives us the chance, if we are prepared, we can have more women coming as independent candidates, more women winning as independent candidates and going to the legislature. So we can be able to have the kind of support we need. Even though not all the men might not support it, but majority might not, because they feel like women are trying to even arms with them. But for me, I don't see it like that. I see like women trying to create a seat next to the men so that they all can work together to get the results that they need. I don't believe in the saying that women can do it better. No, I believe that women can also get the results, and women can also have or make the change just as the men can. So I believe we can work together side by side to make that change together. So it's not like we are trying to even arms, no, but we are trying to make sure the system works in collaboration. How we get it done. Women understands women issues. Men understands men issues. You won't hear a man at the parliament actually discussing about safe hygiene, or how to get sanitary pads to high school students, or what can be done in that. I'm just giving a case scenario. So a woman will understands the damage of hearing of a 2 years old child being raped, being a mother holding her baby, understanding. Some of the men, they don't even see the kids. Some of them got connected to the kids when they were already big. Women understand women issues. So I believe that when you have more women, there will be more solutions, because majority of the issues we have has to do with women. Like our kind of society we have more single mothers. We have widows. We have teenagers that have babies. They need supports. They need to be able to they need to be able to put them ideas together, put themselves together. How do you do that? You need a woman to speak on those issues. You need a woman to stand up for the women. So I believe that when you have more women at the level of the parliament, issues affecting women, girls, kids will be fully addressed. So, Mr. Isman, are you there? Okay. Hello.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was a little technical glitch. Yes,
Okay.
I know, but I was listening to everything you said. Women more sensitive. Women can identify with their children since they are mothers. There are so many single mothers. So, so that brings up this question: what can be done about? What do you think should be done? A plan, a policy for young women, single mothers. What can be done? Because the single mothers bring the children up, and they are very crucial in our future. What do you think should be done to address the single women issue, the young baby mother issue? What should be done? Well, what kind of policy you think the government should adapt if you were elected in the legislature? What would you suggest?
So I will come back to our skills building institutions. That could be a great help for the young people. Pushing the high schools, the public schools to high school level. A lot of kids that drop out that became mothers want to go back to school. They want to learn some kind of trade. So I believe that when we have these facilities in the district, when you are talking to a single, when you are talking to a young mother who is who does not have that level of experience, you can be able to tell, okay, we have the public school where you can learn one, two, three. All you need to do is to register maybe 3,000 Liberian dollar, 4,000 Liberian. So what my office can do is we have 100% in that school. For every 3 months, we pay 100% fees. So we can include you on the list so you can go and learn something to do better. So like that, you are empowering that young lady. So you will have more young women coming. Say, okay, I want to go learn how to drive. I want to go and learn how to do catering. I want to go learn how to do sewing. So the more we have them coming to the office to engage us, and we will also be engaging them. Like that, you are giving them a second reason to develop themselves. Some of them might say they want to go back to school first to finish their high school studies. So when the public schools are pushed to high school level, you can also have nice sections. So some of them go in the morning, they learn their skills. In the evening time, they go to either the evening school or night school. And they have some time in between too to also go and do the little hustling to put their stuff together. In 3 months, you empower a lot of young people.
So will
So
you introduce a bill? Will you introduce some kind of bill in the to enhance what all these things you say?
So this has to do with the education bill, amending the educational bill. So there is bill already there for education, just to have a little portion amended in the interest of our young people to push for all public schools to be pushed to high school level. So that is one of the things we want to do. And then also a skills building institution, which is also part of the education bill. So like for districts within Maserado, we can push that all districts can get a public health institution bill to enhance the knowledge of our young people, skills wise. It will also help on the line of the economy. It will also help on the line of taking our people out of poverty because when you give a man knowledge, you cannot take it back from him. So when that person is educated, you are placing them in their generation on a higher level. So that's the biggest thing you can give somebody is education. And when we talk about skills building, you end up being a professional. So if you learn catering, it depends what you choose. So let's for example, you decided to do pastry, where you're gonna be learning how to do donuts, shortbread, or rice bread, cornbread, and you can use this color, sugar donut and stuff. You can use that in your community, open one small little shop, and you bake your pastry early in the morning, or every Saturday people know that you have this, and people come and buy. So it's easier to get that done. But with the skills building institution, we will be able to educate most of our young people. A lot of people, a lot of kids, they want to do something. There's nothing there to do.
Wonderful. Now we're about to soon wrap this up, but at the top of the interview, you made mention that you were a sedition, but this time you're not supporting the sedition party at the top of the ticket. What changed? What caused you to make this change?
So when we supported we supported our party based on um, the Purple Agenda for Prosperity and Change, understanding the people, creating a safe space for the people, bringing investments into the country where the people can have jobs, be accessible, putting the people first. But then what we got from the first year to the 5.5 years, going to 6 years now, we got the massive corruption.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so what we ended up getting was massive corruption, people building duplexes, the personal properties enriching themselves. And second we saw on the agenda was bad governance, insecurity, where we saw most of our young people dying, injustice being served, where we cannot get justice for any of those kids that just died, like the Princess Cooper case. And our president coming out to tell us that everybody should be their own security. This is not what we signed up for. So, as a young leader, I believe that the Purple Agenda for Prosperity and Change was not targeted. I believe that our people have been misled, and we need a good governance because you cannot have a system or work in the legislature to have the kind of results you want when the tap is rotten. So that is where I came in and decided to support Honorable Podcast because I believe that right now, for me, he's my candidate that I think can make a significant change for because I've seen a level of work over the years. I've not seen him fighting the invasion himself. I see him being very comfortable in a little space, and I believe that he can push the agenda of the people when he's elected as president of Liberia.
Okay, so you have what are the guarantees that you see in his in Buckeye's past history? I assume that can guarantee that you believe now that he will be the one to take on a task, as opposed to Gonglu or Cummings. Why do you see it that he will be the best candidate for such a job?
So his honesty, his level of integrity during his period of serving in the public space, we didn't see him enriching himself, building property left and right. We didn't see him relocating from Liberia, taking his family overseas, buying houses in different countries. We didn't see him trying to corrupt the minds of the Liberian people. He have exhibit or as he has exhibited a certain level of leadership, being peaceful always, being someone who put his country first instead of personal gain. And I think that's what we need. We need someone who actually loves Liberia, not just because they want power. We need someone who feels the people, who understands what is emotional intelligence, who understands what the people are actually feeling, not just because you wanted power. Like I'm from the private sector, I remain in the private sector, I have a full career. So, but I decided to come in because I believe if we have more of some of us at the level of the parliament coming in with our own professional knowledge, where we have interacted with people, work with people. To work in a company for 8 years, you should be a good staff. You should understand your company. You should also respect your company constitution, which is the policies of the company. You should also know how to work with your colleagues, connect with people. 8 years is not joke. So when we say we've been in the private sector for 12 years, for a young person like me, that's a lot of time. And we all know that when you are young, you are just coming up. Most of our young people we don't have that direct direction, so we might be changing jobs. For my first job, I had spent 4 years there, and then I got married. So my husband didn't want me to work. And then I sat back. I started running a little business of my own. It was a water shop in the Lapasi market. But then when my husband passed, because I was married to the late Oso Pelham, I'm the wife of the late Oso Pelham. And when my husband passed, I decided to apply to see if I could get something. And that's how I started um, working with MT. And the moment I sent in my application, I was accepted. So that's how I got the job, and I worked there for 8 years before leaving to get into politics. And what actually made me to want to go was the fact that I did not have the time to finish my first degree. Because when you're working full time, it's very tough to go to school in Liberia. So, and it took me 14 years. I was just dragging and dragging. So, I needed to prioritize my education just a little bit. I believe that even if I had not graduated with a degree from what I've learned for 12 years in the professional space, that's more than a PhD. But then again, our society calls for a degree. When you go to apply, you can explain all your experience. The first thing they will ask you, what's your qualification level? Do you have a degree? And sometimes
Do
you
you
might
have
be
the paper?
thank you. You might be qualified for that based on that 12 years of experience.
Mm,
But because you don't have that degree, they will not give you that job. So
mm.
that's how I went back. I got my first degree. I'm doing my master's now at the AMBU graduate school. I'm also doing another program at the European Academy of Diplomacy where I'm doing international diplomacy. So I'm also looking at the diplomatic side where I can be able to represent my country out there someday and understands the level of negotiation, putting my country interests first and making sure that we can convince people coming invest in our country, make it better because the more investors that come, we empower more people and more homes get comfortable and the economy boom and our people get more comfortable because when a man has a job and he can feed his family, he can take care of his home, or a woman has a job where she can take care of her kids, and then we start to have a balanced society. So that's what we are looking out for.
Yeah, you appear like you make a very good ambassador, as a matter of fact. Okay, so now we're going to be wrapping up. I'm going to give you a few minutes so you can address the audience. Any last minute things you want to tell them and why they should support you. So go right ahead.
Okay, so I want to say thank you for watching. For those that join us, thank you for taking your time to listen to our platform. When it comes to criticism, we pay keen attention to everything that is said, and we learn from our mistakes just in case if what we are saying is right. And we also use criticism to better ourselves. Sometimes people criticize us out of hate, which of course we understand not everybody gonna like you. Some of the people that even criticize us have not met us before, even interacted with us on any level. But those people who have interacted with us have a special connection with us. They understand our level of leadership. We also want to say to those watching Invitation number 10, thank you for being on the platform. Your leader is not going to disappoint you. We are going to represent our people like we have promised you appropriately at the level of the parliament. We're going to push the issue of station number 10. We're going to push the issue of young people in our district to make sure that our young people are comfortable. We are also going to be there. Our doors are going to always be open for our people. We are going to work collectively to achieve what our district needs to achieve. And also, we are also going to continue our national advocacy on what our young people generally in the country are supposed to benefit, our women. And we are also going to continue our advocacy on the issue of rape, and we are going to continue speaking on keeping a peaceful election. Let that go. Your vote is your power. That is how you make change. Get to the ballot box on October 10th, 2023, and vote the person that you don't want to see in power. Vote them out. Vote for who you think is right. Our number on the ballot for district number 10 is 12. And we want to say support, better leadership, better representation, oversight, and lawmaking in the interest of the youth, people of district number 10, our mothers, single mothers, our women in the market, our market women, and also our kids that we are preparing in the future. We want to be held accountable tomorrow. Thank you very much for having me. Focus on Liberia. Thank you for the invite, Mr. Eastman. It has been a pleasure and honor being on your platform. And thank you for having me today.
And thank you. We have been talking with Honorable Karishma Pelham-Raad, aspirant for the House of Representatives for District number 10. And that brings our broadcast to a conclusion. But so ladies and gentlemen, we want you to vote with your mind. As you can see, we have very intelligent people ready to represent you. So let's make the most out of this opportunity. And as we know, we all Liberian. So stand by as we close.
We are Liberian.